I still got lots to do for our report on nutritional food labels. Need to. What did you learn from doing the project about your own shopping habits? Well, it's always hard to check labels for traces of peanuts in everything. Or it because of my allergy? But beyond that, I've never really been concerned enough to check how healthy a product is. This project has actually taught me to read the labels much more carefully. I tended to believe claims on packaging largely low fat, but I now realize that the healthy chocolate I've bought for years is full of sugar and that is actually quite high in calories. Ready meals are the worst. Comparing the labels on supermarket pizzas with a real eye opener. Did you have any idea how many calories they contain? I was amazed just because unless you read the label really carefully, you wouldn't know that the nutritional values given out for half a pizza when most people eat the whole pizza. Not exactly transparent, isn't it? Not, not at all. But I expect it's gonna stop you from buying pizza. Probably not. No, I thought comparing the different labeling systems used by food manufacturers was interesting. I think the car labeling system used makes a big difference. Which one did you prefer? I like the traditional daily value system pieces, the one which tells you what proportion of your required daily intake of each ingredient the product contains. I'm not sure it's the easiest for people to use, but at least you get the full story. I like to know all the ingredients in a product, not just how much fat, salt, and sugar they contain. But its good supermarket have been making an effort to provide reliable information for customers. Yes, there just need to be more consistency between labeling systems used by different supermarkets in terms of portion sizes. Mm, the label on the different brands of chicken flavor crisps were quite revealing too. Where weren't they? Yeah, I don't understand how they can get away with calling them chicken flavor when they only contain artificial additives. Right now, I at least have expected them to contain a small percentage of real chicken. Absolutely. I think having nutritional food labeling has been a good idea, don't you? I think it will change people's behavior and stop methods, in particular buying the wrong things. But didn't that story card prove the opposite? People didn't necessarily stop buying unhealthy products. They only said that might be the case. Those findings weren't that conclusive and it was quite a small scale study. I think more research has to be done. Yes, I think you're probably right. What do you think of the traffic light system? I think supermarkets like the idea of having a color coded system, red, orange, or green, for levels of fat, sugar, and salt in a product. but it's not being adopted universally, and nor on our products. Why do you suppose that is? Pressure from the food manufacturers, hardly surprising that some of them opposed to flagging up how unhealthy their products are. I'd have thought it could have been compulsory. It seems ridiculous, isn't it? Is it isn't consultation. A lot of experts had reservations about it. That is a bit great. I suppose there's an argument for doing the research now when consumers are familiar with the system. Yeah, maybe. The participants in the survey were quite positive about the traffic light system. But I don't think they targeted the right people. They should have focused on people with low literacy levels because their labels are designed to be accessible to them. Yeah, but it's good to get feedback from our social economy group, and there wasn't much variation in their responses. No, but if they hadn't interviewed but participants face to face, they could have used a much bigger sample size. I wonder why they chose that method. Turnout, how were they selected? Did they volunteer or were they approached? I think they volunteered. The thing that wasn't stated was how often they bought packet food. On winner is how frequently they used the supermarket.